الله أكبر الله أحد لا إله إلا الله حي على الصلاة
في خرير من العيون وظل
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. There was a great scholar by the name of Abu Idris al-Khawalani who was to become one of the leading scholars of the Tabi'un, of the students of the Sahaba, and he was to become the judge of Damascus of his time. But in his youth he started out to travel, to seek knowledge, and he narrates an incident that occurred to him. And he says that I entered into the main mosque of Damascus. This is when he was still not a scholar, when he was a young person. I entered into the masjid, the main masjid of Damascus, while I was still a lad. And I saw a group of companions of the Prophet ﷺ. Over 30 companions sitting in a circle. And there was in their midst, in the middle of these companions, a young person who was silent and who exuded confidence, who exuded respect amongst the Sahaba. If they differed amongst themselves, they would turn to him to seek guidance. And as soon as I saw him, immediately my heart increased in my love for him. So I asked my companion who was with me, who is this person? What is the name of this companion? He replied, do you not know who this is? This is Mu'adh ibn Jabal. Mu'adh ibn Jabal, one of the most famous companions of the Prophet ﷺ, who passed away when he was still young, relatively young. So Abu Idris al-Khawalani said, the next morning I decided to come very early to the masjid in order to meet him privately. So I came at the time when it was still dark, way before Fajr. And as I entered the masjid, I saw that Mu'adh had already preceded me. He was already there. And he was standing up, facing a pillar, praying to Allah Azza wa Jal in the middle of the night. So I said my 2 rak'ahs, and I sat down until he finished his prayer. When he finished, I came towards him, and I said, Assalamu alaikum. I swear by Allah, I love you for the sake of Allah. Mu'adh said, what did you say? So Abu Idris repeated, I love you for the sake of Allah. So Mu'adh ibn Jabal said, for the sake of Allah, Allah. So Abu Idris repeated, yes, for the sake of Allah. A second time Mu'adh asked him, you love me for the sake of Allah? And Abu Idris said, yes, for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. A third time Mu'adh asked him, and a third time Abu Idris said the same thing. So Mu'adh held on to his upper garment. He pulled him towards himself. And he said, rejoice, be happy if you are telling the truth. Because I heard the Prophet ﷺ say, Al-mutahabbuna fi jalali. Those who love one another for my sake, the Prophet ﷺ is saying that Allah Azza wa Jal says, those who love one another for my sake, lahum manabira min nur. They will be placed upon pulpits of light. On the day of judgment, those who love one another for the sake of Allah, they will be placed on pulpits of light. يَغْبِطُهُمُ النَّبِيُّونَ وَالصِّدِّيقُونَ وَالشُّهَدَاءُ. Even the prophets and the sincere, the siddiqs and the martyrs, they will be jealous of these people because of the blessing shown upon them. So Abu Idris al-Khawalani, when he heard this, he became so overjoyed, so happy, that in the morning he went out to tell people. And he met Ubadah ibn as-Samit, another famous companion. And he said, should I not narrate to you what I heard from Mu'adh ibn Jabal about the topic of brotherhood, about the topic of love for the sake of Allah? So Ubadah ibn as-Samit said, let me narrate to you what I heard from the Prophet ﷺ. And he narrated another hadith, that Allah Azza wa Jal says, that my love has been written for those who love one another for my sake. Those who love one another for my sake, it is obligatory on me to love them. And those who visit one another for my sake, it is also obligatory upon me to love them. And those who give each other, meaning they give good, they give presents, they sacrifice for one another, my love is obligatory upon them. And those who fulfill the ties of brotherhood for each other for my sake, it is obligatory upon me to love them. So Abu Idris al-Khawalani, because of his eagerness to learn Islam, because he left his house to learn about this religion, Allah Azza wa Jal blessed him to meet both of these companions, both of whom narrated to him beautiful pearls of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam regarding the important concept of brotherhood. Now there is no doubt that good manners in general, akhlaq in general, are an integral part of Islam. So much so that the Prophet ﷺ said, I have only been sent to perfect good manners. I have only been sent. This is the only reason that I have been sent. إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. Likewise, the Prophet ﷺ said that the best blessing any person has been given, the best blessing any person has been given by Allah Azza wa Jal is good manners. In another hadith he said that the most perfect amongst you in Iman are the ones who are the most perfect in their manners. The most perfect amongst you in their Iman, the ones that have the strongest Iman, are those that have the best manners. So in general, good manners form an integral part of our Islam, of our Iman. And that is why the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ جَمِيلٌ يُحِبُّ الْجَمَالِ. Allah Azza wa Jal is beautiful, and He loves beauty, and He loves exalted manners, and He hates debased and evil manners. But out of all of the manners and out of all of the akhlaq, one of the most important characteristics, one of the most important akhlaq that a Muslim must have is the characteristic of brotherhood, of loving someone, wanting good for him, just because that person says, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Ukhuwa, the concept of ukhuwa, the concept of brotherhood in Islam. An akh, according to the Arabic language, a brother, an akh, is someone who shares your mother or father or both. But in the Quran it is used for broader meanings than this. In the Quran it is used for broader meanings than this. It is used for the literal meaning of brother or sister, but it is also used for someone who is of the same tribe as well. As Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَإِلَىٰ عَادٍ أَخَاهُمْ هُودًا. To the tribe of Ad we sent their brother Hud. And it is also used for the brotherhood of religion. All Muslims are brothers. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً. The believers are nothing except brothers. So the Quranic term ukhuwa or akh is broader than the linguistic meaning of merely a physical brother or sister. And that is why Allah Azza wa Jal refers to all of the Muslims as brothers. One of the scholars of the Quran said that what combines them all together is not...
Give thanks to Allah for the moon and the stars. Praise Him all day for what is and what was. Take hold of your Iman, don't give in to Shaitan. Oh, you who believe, please give thanks to Allah. Allahu Ghafoor, Allahu Rahim, Allahu Yuhibbul Muhsin.